What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Steph Speaks Radio. Today, I'm very excited because I have two of my very best friends with me today, and we're going to be talking about a lot of fun things around the category of women. So I'm going to introduce to you Amanda and Colleen. So why don't you guys go ahead and tell everyone who you are and what you do, what we're going to be talking about today.
We are photographers local to the Cleveland area. We actually photograph boudoir, which we will get into. But we've been in business together for about, a long time.
It's been a while. Has it been like, what, over
12 years.
Holy, it's been 12.
12 years.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know.
We'll just move past that.
Okay. The dynamic's going to come out, I'm sure, during the conversation today.
12 years.
Yeah.
But I'd say about 8 years ago, we kind of, we started in weddings and we shifted a little bit with our passion to boudoir. We were driving through Nevada at nighttime, and we had said we just wanted to feel like deeply connected to our passion, our job, what we wanted to bring to the scene. And we were going through like really deep poems. There was some tears. There was deep conversations. And we fell upon Nikita Gill and her poem about wild embers. And we just felt very like instantly drawn. And we said, well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to rebrand ourselves and focus on female empowerment.
So I think for some people that don't know listening, what is boudoir? Because I know some people, because I'll be honest, when I first found you guys, even before you rebranded to Wild Embers, obviously you were Rustic Light at one point. So you've been in this for a minute, but I didn't even know what boudoir was.
Yeah, you were one of the first people who were on a session.
No, I know. That's how I met you guys, was a boudoir shoot. So for me, I was like, what's boudoir? So can you tell people what that is?
I think a lot of people have absolutely no idea, or they just think like, oh, it's nudes. And that's it.
Okay.
Right? They just think.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But it's so much more than that. I think that a lot of us have self-confidence issues throughout our lives, and that just kind of carries on to adulthood. And boudoir is more than nude photos or lingerie. It's really about empowering yourself, stepping into that light, embracing your confidence and sexuality. And as far as like lingerie, a lot of people are scared about lingerie and things like that. But it can be any kind of shoot. It can go for everything. We've photographed women in dresses down to the sheets. So it's really more about like bringing out your personality, stepping into that, again, confidence and self-love journey. So yeah, it's a photo shoot.
Yeah.
It gets a little saucy at times, but it's really more about that.
I think that some people just kind of, they hear that word and it's like an instant taboo, like boudoir. Like, okay, I don't have anybody to gift it to.
Yes.
And then that's one of like the biggest conversations we have is you don't need anybody to gift it to. It doesn't have to be for somebody else. It needs to be for you. And I think what we find through, hundreds and hundreds of girls that we photographed.
Yeah.
In the end, even if it was for a gift, it ends up being more about them and for themselves than it is for their partner. And that's why we have repeat clients, because it is more of an experience than just a product.
I think that's the biggest thing too, because obviously I work with women too. And in the gym, I'll talk about these types of things. And I've learned over the years, a lot of women really didn't understand that. Like they think it's something that, oh, well, unless I'm getting married or unless I just have some big event, like I should not be doing this, or it's just like a weird thing to do. And I think it's cool how you guys have kind of changed the narrative around what that is. And it's something deeper. Because over the years, what would you say that you guys have found from women that came to do this? When they think they're coming for one thing, what do they actually get out of it?
Honestly, a community.
Yeah.
Which is a bonus part of it. You become friends with your clients. You might come in. I think one of our favorite stories was one of our first stories. And she had come in, she was shaking. She was terrified. She was near tears. She was so nervous. And by the end of it, she was walking around.
She was like
in nothing.
Person.
Like completely comfortable and excited. And I think that's just kind of what shows you we're so disconnected from our bodies because of propaganda, social media, men.
I know. Let's just talk about it, honey. I know it's surreal.
A lot of things. And to just kind of fall into yourself again and be like, I am okay where I am right now. Age, weight, body textures, any of these things that come up on their questionnaire that we send to them, they'll be like, I don't like this about myself, or I would like to minimize this about myself. And it's heartbreaking because you you doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, or where you are in your process of weight loss or muscle growth or any of these things. Like, love yourself right now and later.
Yeah.
Because you'll fall into it, 10 years down the road, and you're like, damn, that was hot.
Yeah.
I was a babe.
No, for real. Something I see even in the gym all the time is women believing that they're not enough, right? Like, even just to start, or whether it's to do a shoot or to get in the gym, it's like, well, I'm not going to be ready until XYZ.
Yes.
Right. I know you've experienced that even when we used to work out in the gym. And I think it's really interesting how this is a really important conversation to have for women listening, that there's never going to be this right time to start. You're never going to feel like you're just enough as you are in that moment. I think just being willing to take that plunge, and then how do we learn how to accept ourselves in those moments, even if we are on the journey to wanting to become maybe a more confident or more evolved version of ourselves.
And that's not a bad thing. And we don't, I don't want to turn people away from that. I want you to feel whatever growth you need mentally, physically, to embrace it. But it's not just about that when it comes down to it. So much of it is internal.
So many women that we talk to are like, they're thinking about it, they're on the fence, and they'll say, I'm not there. Like, I have to lose that weight, or I don't feel sexy, or I'm too nervous to be in the camera. I don't know how to pose. I've never seen that side of myself. Yeah. And that's okay. That's normal. That's how 99.9% of our clients feel.
I would be worried if you didn't come in nervous.
Yeah, that's true. Right. Yeah.
That's very normal. And I think a lot of us let that fear stop us from doing something that we genuinely want to experience. And that's good for us and our growth. We talked about this when we talked about exercising. Just do it scared. When I started at the gym, it was one of my worst fears. I didn't want to be in that environment around people. I was nervous about my body and how I would look and how people would see me and all these things. That I did it for myself, and I made that choice to push past the fear. And I think that's something that people also need to, women need to look at when it comes to boudoir, is just, we're always going to have those fears. If we set a goalpost of, I want to lose these many pounds, or I want to hit this goal, we're always moving that post. In your life, when you look back, have you ever been 100% secure and happy in your body? No. And if you have, I love that for you. But I don't know anybody that has. And I certainly haven't.
And when you think about back at the gym, you're always so worried about what someone else is going to think.
Of course.
Are they watching me? Are they judging me? And it's the same for these photos. People are always like, oh, what is my mom going to think? What is my aunt going to think? I'll bet your grandma's got some Polaroid nudes that you've never seen.
Some glamour shots.
Well, because it's like, I feel like this thing around it being wrong to do that. And I can even, there is, even especially growing up in the culture that I have, in the family that I have, it's like, oh, this was completely wrong. Like, you should never do this. Because I remember
promiscuous.
Exactly. Like, I felt like, oh, this is wrong. Like, I shouldn't be doing this for some reason, even though it was like a time, every time I've done it with you guys, it's like something that comes out of me from it is like, wow, I just feel really powerful. I feel really beautiful. I feel really sexy. I feel really good about myself. But it's like, it's always just like that what if of like, oh, this is wrong or bad, or I shouldn't be allowed to express myself in this way.
My question to that is why? And I get it. I absolutely get it. I hate when right away, as a business owner, as somebody who's so passionate about it, boudoir is just a word. Like, it's not that. It's so much more. It's the empowerment. It's the self-love. It's the community. It's like-minded individuals. And so, when I say this is what my job is, or this is what my profession is, right away people are like, oh, so it's like naughty. And it can be if you want it to be. It doesn't have to be. And so I just don't like that innuendo, that taboo that's attached to it. It's like, oh, you can't be empowering for like the universe if you are creating sexy images. And we tell most of the girls all the time, you wear less in a bathing suit most of the time than you will in your lingerie. And you can come as comfortable or as you want. You want to be in a dress? That's fine. You want to be in the sheets? That's fine. Like, we got you. We'll help you through that. But I think people are just so afraid of criticism. And that's heartbreaking, because you're missing out on an opportunity to see yourself in a whole different light.
It's literally, like I said, it's the same thing in the gym. I was just talking to a client of mine. You actually came up in this conversation, but I was talking to a client of mine just out of her own fear. She's someone I train online, and she has been newer to going to the gym. And every week when we check in, there's this continuum of like, I feel like people are looking at me. I feel like people are judging me. I feel like people are staring at me because I don't look like the person that I perceive to be in a better place. I don't look like the person that I think is like upper tier in fitness. And because I don't look like that, I'm not good enough to be here and I'm being judged for it. I see this all the time in the gym with women. It's just like people don't even want to start because their current doesn't look like someone's 10 years in. But I feel like that's the same with photos or just anything we put ourselves out there as women. It's just we're not in the same space as maybe the people that we think are deserving of being there.
Yes.
I don't know what your thoughts are on
that. Even when it comes like to the gym, I think we realized throughout our process, I'm not looking at anybody else.
Exactly.
I'm in my world. I am focused on me and my growth. And you know what? If I see somebody who doesn't look like me or has been there for 10 years, I'm going to root for you no matter what. You're working towards the best version of yourself. And I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to, you go girl. But
yeah,
I think that it breaks my heart because I don't want people to limit themselves from that fear of judgment. Like the fact that that's even a thing, that's what we're scared of is other people looking at us hurts. Like it's sad.
And like you said, 9 out of 10 times people aren't looking. They aren't judging. They're focused on themselves. And you know what? If they are looking and judging, let them. Yeah. Because you're there for yourself and that doesn't matter. And the people that are looking are probably thinking, wow, look at her doing that. I can do that too. Or maybe even giving you the courage to exercise, to do the boudoir shoot and extending that throughout your life. I think doing the hard, scary things gives you the courage to do the things in your life that are hard and scary, like throughout all of the branches of your life.
So why do you think so many women struggle to see themselves the way other people see them?
That's a tough question. I think we all struggle.
Yeah. Right? I think that we nitpick ourselves more than anything else. A lot of times, through our process in boudoir, you'll have your session and you're feeling so great afterwards. You're just riding that high. And then we edit your photos and we ask you, like editing wise, you can edit anywhere from minimal to magazine. So whatever you prefer, you to see yourself as, we'll do. Your comfort level. And so when the reveal happens, everybody's always nervous. They're always like, I might only like a couple of photos. And that's never the case. Like you're always like, oh my God, holy crap, that's me. Like, damn. Yeah. And that's our favorite part. Like it's that moment that I'm like, you see it, you feel it. Like now you understand. But sometimes, during it, they'll still be like, oh, I just don't like the way my face looks there. Or I feel silly in this one. And then each time, if there's a significant other or a partner that's with them, they're like, what? Are you kidding me? I want every single one of these images. So I think we assume other people are seeing our flaws consistently.
We're our worst critics.
When it's us.
I like that.
Who are seeing our flaws. And then, deeper, why do we feel we have those flaws? Like, are we comparing ourselves to others, to unsustainable standards? Like, where is that coming from? And that's why in this community that we like even with us, with, women, and our businesses are so similar and on the same wavelength. It's like, I want to hold your hand and shake you. I want to tell you, you are perfect the way you are. Like, love yourself. And that's why I enjoy creating this space with women, because it is, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you have a community of people who are all like, no, don't look like that. Don't say that. You're not allowed to do that. We had people over a couple months ago, and one of us said something slightly negative about ourselves, and they were like, no, stop it.
Yeah. We're all guilty of it. We do it to ourselves too. I mean, I think that, like I said, we are our own worst critics, and it starts at the beginning, watching the perfect Disney princesses and all of the things in the media and the way that women are marketed to women. The whole beauty industry, all of these things really have us looking at other women like, I need to look like this standardly perfect figure, the hair, the makeup. And if I don't look like that and I don't fit within that box, then I'm not good enough. I'm not beautiful. And the beauty is that we are all so uniquely different. And
let me shine more on who you are.
Absolutely.
I don't want to make you look like XYZ. I want to show you the best version of yourself.
it's hard for us to see ourselves in the lens that other people might, for sure.
Mhm.
And I think it's just cool, like with the experience, like obviously you guys do, like you're watching women come into something extremely intimidated, but then when they get to see it on the other side, it's like kind of almost emotional because you do realize you can look and feel in the way that you think you can't.
Yes.
And sometimes I think people accept it when they see their photos. I think other times they're still nitpicking.
Yeah.
Which is hard because I have the same thing with women with the gym, like say when I'm doing like before and after photos, kind of the same concept, obviously a little bit different, but you know, I'll see all this progress happening for women. And the thing is, sometimes it's not even always just the physical, right? Because we all know that with the gym, it takes time.
It does.
Your 1-year transformation won't happen in say 3 months, right? Mm-hmm. But I find too, it's like, even in these moments, like I have to remind women of like the milestones they made. And sometimes those milestones aren't just physical things. Like for a lot of women that I work with, these milestones are actually them, like how they improved in confidence and discipline and like
showing up for themselves.
Literally, I say that every week. Showing up for themselves is so important because the thing about the gym is like you literally can't have anyone do it for you. Like if you're not doing it, it just won't happen. Mm-hmm. If you're not the one going to the gym, pushing yourself in your workouts, getting good sleep, having good recovery, being on top of nutrition. If you're not doing these things, it literally will not happen, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes I think people need to realize like along the way, it's not just about how their body might be physically changing. It's how much stronger did you get in the gym, but how much stronger are you mentally? How did your habits change, your discipline, like all these different things. But it's really hard for women to take a step back and look at that because we think our results are only worthy if it's in a way that we deem as worthy because of what we see online.
And I can see how that can be overwhelming. Like it is a lot of things to take into account. Right. Food, water, working out. But even if you aren't feeling wonderful or 100%, go for a walk. Yeah. If you do anything that involves getting out of your mental state, moving your body, that is still a step in the right direction. Just like I've always struggled with that overwhelming like need to dissociate almost, to like step away from feeling the pressure of what I need to do, where I should be, what I should be doing, how far I should be in my life, like all of those things. And that's part of the process though. That's part of accepting and understanding. And honestly, I'm so grateful to have a community where I can like voice those concerns and people are like, no, I got you. Like, okay, let's go for a walk. You still did good today. Like not allowing the negativity to bring you down even more. And
it doesn't have to be all or nothing either when it comes, in like in your realm, if you do go for a walk or you get your water for the day or you go to the gym once this week, that's amazing. Like you should be so proud of yourself. We're not always going to hit 100% of our goals. Hitting any of those goals in a day is still a win. And I think sometimes you look at something like that and you're like, well, I can't do all of these things. I'm not going to go to the gym every day this weekend. So I'm just not going to worry about it. Correct. And then it's like a chain reaction. And in like translating that to boudoir, I think it's really wonderful when clients come in and they see their photos and they walk away and they're like, I am a changed woman. I feel so incredible of myself. I never saw this myself in this way, and my confidence. That's happens a lot. And we love that. That's so powerful, but it's okay to come out of a photo shoot too and say, this was really hard. I do feel better about myself. I am proud of myself for doing this. I don't love every photo, but I will get there, and
that's important too. Actually,
it is. There's so many times where we tell people, when they look at them now, you're rolling and nitpicking, but in 5 days, in 10 days, in 5 years, you're going to look at that and be like,
50 years,
the hell, man.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Like, look at me.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a process, but you need to, we're so happy to hold the hand along the way, no matter what. But there are times like, how often do you wear lingerie?
I don't. like I just don't do that every day.
I mean,
it ain't gonna happen. I know.
Me neither. If you find me at home, I am in a baggy shirt and a pair of shorts. Like that is just who I am, where I am, what I'm doing. But I want to still know that I can put this on and feel like a bad babe, and I don't have to do it for anybody. If I want to take a sexy selfie, I'm going to take a sexy selfie.
Right.
And you can. But I don't want people to feel like it has to be fully made up, full hair, full makeup. Like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It's the mindset behind it, the way that you feel, whether you're in slouchy sweatpants and a tank top or you're in a full set of lingerie. There's
times I see women walking down the street in like their streetwear. I'm like, damn, girl.
I think it's just really what makes you though feel the best at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like finding like it doesn't really matter what realm you're in. It's just, are you able to own it when you're in that?
Yeah.
It's kind of like how I see it. And, you know, something I was thinking of too, you kind of were talking about this a little bit ago. So taking a step back was about the community stuff. And the reason I'm thinking about that is obviously we all do things, whether together or in our own, like we do community-based things for women. And when we bring women together, and the core of, even though on the surface level where fitness and photo, we're obviously a lot deeper, which anyone that knows us knows that we're kind of have a deeper goal than just taking your photo or getting you in the gym. But I guess from all the events you guys have done, what does empowerment actually look like in real life, not just on social media? Like women empowering women. This is, I feel like we see it online all the time in the hashtag, but what is it actually in real life?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's showing. I think it's showing. I think it's just showing up for each other in every stage. I'm so grateful to have met so many people throughout the process. Like if I have a question and I need to reach out to you or anybody, or if I'm struggling mentally, or I'm feeling at my lowest, or if I'm overwhelmed with any situation, I know I can reach out to X, Y, and Z.
For sure.
And it's not just, I don't want to just be a business transaction. Like I want to become your friend. I want you to be able to know that that feeling that you had in our presence, that's real. So like when we host these events and it's to bring these people together so that you can be surrounded by like-minded individuals who are uplifting and who are a girl's girl and who is going to root for you no matter what. I think it's about being able to be vulnerable with people. Not everybody has a chance to have a massive friend group.
For sure.
Or like those deep connections. So they might be fearful. If they do have friends, they can't talk about anything like intimacy, sexuality, any of those things. And so being a safe space to do that, like with our online community, it's just women. And so if somebody has a relationship question, you can ask anonymously. All of these things that you're able to do in a non-judgmental place. But empowerment, I mean, is deeper than that too, because it's not temporary. Yeah. You know, I want it to stick. I want you to leave feeling like I am woman, hear me roar. Well, like, you know, like,
yeah. Is it
dispense? Yeah. I mean, and as far as like she was talking about community, I think one thing about social media is we see the highlight reel of everyone's lives, of everyone's businesses. And it doesn't look like that a lot of the times. That's the like the silver lining of the cloud and all of the good parts. But in reality, like in a business, in personal lives, we are all going through something or a lot of things. And that's one thing that I think we've really gotten to know through our photo shoots, through our events, and getting to know these women is we're all struggling with things. And we only show, so a lot of times we only show the good parts, and that's understandable. But being able to be in a vulnerable space and get to know women on a real level, it allows you to open up and have that support system with each other, because you know, like we're all in there together. Like
I mean, think about it. When we first met you, you had won a session. We had barely known each other.
I know.
And after years of conversation, you've done 3 sessions. But we've become friends. Like we've become extremely close. And we know that we can have those hard conversations because there's somebody that you trust. If you can trust yourself to shed everything emotionally and physically in front of somebody. Like I'm always so grateful when somebody chooses us, because comfort is the number one priority. But I mean, for you, what do you think? I know you talk about empowerment all the time, but you also talk on social media how like you're right. You see the good. Like you don't see how much work goes behind and how much mental toll that can take on the individual who is trying to give that energy.
I think just being able to openly holding space without judgment is empowerment to me. I don't think it's just about celebrating when things are good. You know, I have women walk through the door, not just like once every few months. There are people that are seeing me for extended periods of time, multiple times a week. So naturally, I'm going to develop a really strong relationship, but I'm really going to get to know women. And now 10 years in, you know, like Colleen was just saying, everyone has something going on. And, you know, a lot of these,
our gym sessions were part therapy sessions.
Oh, I mean, I've had women where we leave the session and we end up going on a walk instead, and like they're losing it and they're just crying. And I'm like, I think today's session, we need to go on a walk. We need to talk. And it ends up being so much more like people think they're coming to just get in shape and do workouts every week, but how it ends up being so much more of like this growth journey for them, because as you're working to become stronger in the gym, you're also working through other things with that every single week.
You don't realize those mental blocks that are not just physical.
Yeah. And that's the thing though. I find though a lot of women, like I've been fortunate and honored to hold that space for a lot of people, because a lot of them don't have a space to be held in.
Yes.
And I have found that that's kind of, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of hard parts about that too with our jobs, right? Because, you know, it's a lot we take on sometimes. But how fortunate am I to be able to give that space to someone? Because a lot of women, like, they don't have time to talk about it. Like I have a lot of girls that are going through things and they're like, I just don't have anyone to talk to. And like they're struggling, or they feel like if they are to open up about maybe this thing they're going through that might be something they're a little bit scared or vulnerable to like talk about as they're navigating. It's like they don't want judgment. So they just shut down and bury it, right? So it's like, I think being able to empower women is like being able to empower them in the spaces where they are the most lowest, not just like highlighting you like, oh, you had this accomplishment on Instagram and you did something. Yes, girl, like good shit. No, show me you in your shit and then I'll help you from there. Like, I feel like we're not talking about that as much. You know what I mean?
It's true. You know, we'll have people in the session who'll be like, you know, we'll tell you to pose and they'll be like, oh, make sure you hide my gut. And I'll be like, don't say that. No. That doesn't belong here. We do not say that. And plus so much of it is posing. Like you're natural. That's your body. Like we are going to help you. We'll pose you to minimize whatever you're uncomfortable with. But at the same time, like I want you to embrace it. I want you to see like that is who you are. That is on top of like empowerment and community. Think about when we all went on a retreat together.
Oh, I mean, for sure.
That was just a group of women who left feeling like deeply connected to themselves, but to each other and to like a greater idea of women and womanhood and friendship and self-confidence and taking time for yourself. I mean, as women, we're always doing things for other people.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
How often do we get to do something for ourselves?
Very true. You know, something I was thinking of too that I kind of wanted to bring up. This is me kind of being personal, a little bit vulnerable on this aspect, but I feel like it's just applicable with you guys because of what you do. Is kind of like, I want to talk about the sexuality piece a little bit about boudoir and feeling comfortable in your skin. And the reason I bring it up is because that's hard for me. And something I know you guys know what I'm talking about because I've done a few sessions and I want to put myself out there with this because I know other women might feel this and something I've had to work through. When I've been in these spaces with you guys, like kind of, obviously it's more intimate. You are more exposed. You are more in the raw. I know a lot of women like kind of a little bit more natural, might be more hypersexual in the sense of like in their skin, more comfortable, confident, like owning it. I found how uncomfortable it has been for me a lot of the times, like with you guys and like being in that space and kind of like sitting with how just I want to hide almost, like how instead of like stepping into that energy that comes with being in a session like that, I actually go the other way sometimes where like I don't even know what to do in that space because it's so foreign for me to embody power in a space that's always been told that this is wrong. Talk to me about that because I feel like you see that beyond just me.
I do. We do. But honestly, like I'll have you talk about this too because you yourself have come in to a sexuality empowerment moment just in the last couple years. But it's just like, I think for a while, like you said, it is taboo. And we were told, depending on your religion, depending on your upbringing, depending on parents or grandparents or anything that involves intimacy, sexuality, promiscuousness,
like
promiscuity,
like shame
should be shameful.
Shameful.
And that's not.
And it's interesting because it's like sexuality is put upon us in a lot of ways by society and by men. It's okay when it's expected from us, but when we take our own power and decide like we want to be sexy for ourselves and take a selfie, post a gym pic, go do the boudoir shoot, buy some lingerie, like why is that wrong all of a sudden when it's our decision and on us to do that? Like
it's different when it's expected from us versus when we just want to do it. Can you go deeper on that?
I just think it's really interesting, you know, that, and I think, do we all agree? Like that is something that we see in everyday life is like people.
You don't have to dress like dress up for your partner.
Right.
Yeah. If you don't, who cares if you even have a partner? Right. If you want to go out wearing something that you feel bomb as effing, like, fuck yeah.
And I've seen it in the real life. Like, you know, we have people who maybe have a partner that would want their partner to dress really sexually, and then that's fine. But if they decide to dress up for themselves, it's not okay. Why is that? You know, where does that line?
It's only okay when you're with me, but not okay when I'm by myself. Why?
Or men expecting nudes or wanting those kinds of things, but then when we post our own selfie.
Doing this for the male gaze. Like, I am not doing it to impress him. I'm doing it because I feel damn good. And I think that's where people are confused. I think that's where like the line is drawn, is you don't have to be nervous to do these things because someone's gonna be like, who is she doing it for? Oh, she's a slut. Oh, she's a hoe. Like any of these things. Why do you, that's not your, who are you to judge me based on my self-love, like who I am, where I feel most comfortable. But that is, again, a huge part of the society we live in. Like, okay, all of the models are wearing X, Y, and Z. Yeah. But if I post a picture with a little bit of my ass out, I'm shamed. If I have some cellulite in that photo, add some more shame onto that. Like all of those things that are like, no, we are all people. We are all going through this process together. But it's not, and again, that's like putting boudoir in a box. It's not sex. It's not just that.
And there's also nothing wrong with sexuality.
Yeah, there's nothing.
It can go any direction.
It's the human experience. Like, why is that inherently a bad thing? It's not.
It's not.
I know. I was thinking a little bit too, like throughout my journey, and when I went through a very dark period, and I was trying to kind of like refine myself, my confidence after going through like a really toxic relationship, toxic stuff in my life, XYZ. And obviously I got into bodybuilding competitions. Well, bodybuilding competitions is NPC bikini. You're on stage in a bikini thong. And so, and fitness is something, the fitness industry, whether people say it out loud or not, it's a very sexualized industry. It can be you're thinking about what it is, fitness, just what it is, especially as women. Over the years since I've been in it, it's changed a lot, but especially when I first got in, it was a very hypersexualized industry because it's focused on the flesh, the body, and looking your best. And the NPC bikini world, you're judged on your glutes and like all these things, right? I remember when I started to find my light, like just fitness to me was never about the physical. It was always about like, who can I become because of this, right? I was always an athlete.
That's your safe space.
It is, right? It was so much, the body was just a symbolism of the power that I was finally feeling inside. It was just an outward expression of who I was finally becoming after feeling hidden for so long. When I started to get more into that confidence and share more and post more, whatever, how I lost all my friends in that period of my life. I talk about this all the time, but when I started to become more confident in my skin as a woman, just finding my image of myself throughout those years to come, I lost so many people in my life, had people talking behind my back, calling me every name in the book, just because I was maybe putting myself out there in a way that was more, in their view, sexualized because
of
just...
Which drives me crazy. How does that affect them? It doesn't.
I think about that all the time in my life, though.
It doesn't.
When you start to get in more in that space, how just, if you are more confident, you're more owning yourself in your skin in some way, like it becomes intimidating then to other people. I don't know where I was going with that, but...
No, I understand. But it shouldn't be. Like, you shouldn't have to fear. If somebody in your life is going to distance themselves from you finding your own power, that is not your person.
Right.
That is not your community.
Yeah.
And it's hard because mentally we, followers, MySpace, top 8, like all of these things that we've grown up with.
Yeah.
Like, it's more important that I love myself, because before I can give any more of myself to other people, I have to put myself first. And that's something that I think women struggle with significantly, is putting themselves first.
Yeah.
And I think that, like she said, that those people aren't your people, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. Like, as we transition to adult lives, you will lose friends for various reasons, whether they don't agree with your life choices or the way that you present yourself, or you owning your confidence. And you deserve to have people in your life that are your cheerleaders that love you and support you in all of the ways. Mm-hmm. And there's not really room or time in life to waste on people that don't
even worry about what they're thinking. I think that's something that we will all struggle with for a very long time, but I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
Like what that person's saying or thinking. Like if I'm happy and I'm living my truth, then that's what matters.
And most of my closest and best friends in life now aren't necessarily ones I've had since childhood. They're the ones that we've gotten down and dirty and talked about everything that's going on now.
Yeah.
And they know we all know each other's innermost, deepest, darkest secrets and drama. And that's what really builds true friendship and camaraderie, like as an adult. And those are the people you need in your life.
I think like a similarity is like, granted, fitness industry and what you do isn't necessarily frowned upon, but the posting is where people get that view. And for us, I mean, the genre in general of boudoir is cliche. It is taboo.
True.
So
that's true.
Even some of our family members, our closest friends, our partners they don't understand what it is. To them, it's just photos. It is literally just pictures, but it's not including the conversations leading up to your session where I'm trying to make you feel comfortable. I'm trying to let you know that you're going to be seen. It's okay to be vulnerable. You don't need to feel like you're perfectly in a place to do this. The being there, getting ready, getting hyped up, making sure that you are comfortable in our studio, in the space, and offering you anything that you could need in those moments of support. But
I think it's so much more than physical support. It's emotional support. And that's in both of our, in the way that we work with people. It's not just, it's energy work. I think like people don't realize how much more is going on behind the scenes. And we are like mentally helping people through this entire process when it comes to working out, when it comes to the boudoir shoot. We have to really show up, to show them that we
do. We have a lot of, we do a lot of pop-up events now because we want to meet as many people as we can, but we'll have a sign that says like, we're boudoir photographers. And right away, I can tell by somebody's eyes, whether or not they're open, they're judgmental, or they're like, they want to be intrigued, but they're scared of that judgment. And so that's where I want to, break the ice. I want to be like, what are you frightened of? What do you think a boudoir session entails that's dirty? Like where are you getting that mindset and going deeper into that? Like where is that negativity stemming from? And is it judgment? Is it, your self-loathing? Is it your partner? It just depends, because again, going back to the sexuality part of it, it is frowned upon in your own environment, but projected worldwide. Like that is what we see. That is what we strive for. So like you said, why is coming into your own power in your own way through a session frowned upon?
So I guess then that question then comes like, how does someone even find that confidence within themselves in the world that we have today?
Through community. Through surrounding yourself with like-minded people who want to lift you up and do good by you. And like, I'm not going to, for any of my friends, I'm not going to look at you and judge you at your worst or judge you at your best. I'm going to hold your hand throughout that way.
I don't know. There's so many different directions we can go with all the stuff we do and we talk about. So I get excited because I'm like, I know there's so many topics of conversation with like women in this space, but it's like, like we already said, at the end of the day, like we're always working with women in a space where they're coming in, where they're already vulnerable. So there's like so many things to like be said about that, because when anyone's coming into the gyms, into the sessions, like at the end of the day, they're coming into a place because they're not confident for some reason, or maybe they're doing it for a reason. Like, so I have some people come to me because they're getting ready for a wedding or they're shooting for a wedding, right?
Absolutely. Same.
There's both.
That's okay.
Okay. So you got your people that are coming in things because they're like, yo, I have something coming up that I'm trying to get ready for, or this is part of my like check off the list for something I'm working towards. Cool. We love that. Let's celebrate that. Let's go all in. Then we have the other side of people that are like, I've been wanting to do this thing, but I'm terrified and I need someone to like kind of like guide me, right? Like I need someone to like get me in front of the camera and like pose me, tell me what to do, give me that opportunity to show up. Or like I said, like for the gym, it's like most of the time I'm having people come because they have a goal that they're trying to reach, but they don't know how to get there. They literally don't know how to get there. And when they walk in by themselves, they're going to resort to just going on a treadmill and walking on that for an hour, because
that's also surface level, because how many trainers are there in the world? They're choosing you because your goal and your mentality is to make them feel comfortable. But it is not just about the end product, which is same with us. It is not just about that end product. It is about how I can make you feel throughout the way. My persona, who we are, you know, we bounce so well off each other. I tell people when they come in there, we're weird as fuck. We're so freaking weird. And like we're so silly in the session. Like, it's not going to be scary. And just like you, how many times in your videos that we love of the training, it's so different because we're weird. We're authentically ourselves. And
we don't take anything too seriously.
Yeah,
it's about having fun, letting loose.
I think people like don't think, that's why I started posting those videos so long ago. Cause like when you see like the outward, like the end result of something, like, oh, here's someone's before and after in the gym, or here's like the photos after someone did a session, or just here's my workout, or here's like, there's all this fitness content. I'm like, let me show the shit behind the scenes that's more 100%. Raw, unfiltered. Like, this is what it's actually like. Like, I was so happy that years ago I started doing that because I was getting so frustrated. As being in the industry for as long as I have never saw what it's actually like behind the scenes. We see the super edited post-workout selfies, or someone's before and after transformation after doing this for so long. We see like someone that's already kind of in a really good place where they feel confident posting their workouts or XYZ. We don't see like the process to get there. We don't see real women in real time really working out.
You're like a child learning to walk again when you go to the gym.
Yeah. But that's what bothers me, is that people like don't see that. So we're just basing it off what we're seeing where someone already is now.
The end result.
So I've taken pride in being able to show that with women, and the real women that come through my doors every day, to show like, this is actually what it's like. This is what we are doing day to day. Like, it's raw. It's not perfect. It's unfiltered. It's goofy. It's fun. It's not this super serious every single day.
It can be if you need it to be, if that's where you want to be mentally.
You can be both.
But it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, because again, everything's in the perception of what we think something is, or because of what we've seen online or what someone else has told us. So the intimidation is coming from what we think we know, but we don't actually know.
Yep.
Thoughts on that?
Don't look at me. My mind went.
I know. So I just got you guys super deep there for a second. I was like, I just started zoning out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, because you could go deep at this if you really want. So you could go
so many avenues that you can go down with.
Well, because I know when it comes to like women's stuff too, but I think something else I kind of wanted to like talk about a little bit too at the end here is women in business, because I do think it is also important to have this conversation, because obviously we're talking about all the ins and outs of all these things. And I know we can kind of keep saying the same things over and over, but the other thing we do as females is we've obviously started our own businesses. So I guess kind of like talking about that a little bit, like being a female in business, a solo entrepreneur, like kind of how that's been for you guys too. I mean, obviously I can contribute to this conversation, but what has been, I guess, the hardest parts of that? Not just even, I mean, I guess as a female, but also just an entrepreneur in general.
Feeling like what you do is valued. I mean, we know personally how much mental, physical effort, how much time away from family, from doing things for ourselves, the stress, the worry, am I enough? Are we doing enough? Are we reaching? And then at the same time being like, oh my God, I want to do this. I have this goal. I have this idea. All these things in a pile and just a bowl of overwhelmed, and then at the same time feeling that pride that you've been able to grow so much. It's hard. I'm very grateful, but it is hard. And there's still to this day people in our lives that are like, what you do is easy. And I get so angry.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
It's not.
It's not. They don't see the hard part. It's not.
I hate it.
I've been there. I've worked the 9 to 5. I've worked for somebody else. I've poured my soul, my heart into growing somebody else's business, when instead now I'm building my own.
Yeah.
But at the same time, not feeling like you're doing enough, feeling like you're slacking, becoming overwhelmed, comparing yourself to every other person in your industry. Like it is hard. But at the same time, like we're still trying in a very male dominated world. Like we're still showing up, and I'm going to continue to do it because we are so passionate about it. I'm grateful too that we have met so many people business wise and women in the Cleveland area who are like-minded and who want to grow together and as women entrepreneurs. And I think that's important too, is again, not just the community we built, but a community of professionals where you can bounce ideas off of. We've had conversations where we've just talked business and left feeling so inspired and wanting to change things, like wanting to change the game. And then we've also sat and had conversations that were strictly just based on sex. Like, it just depends.
Right. Well, that's good.
So,
great.
So it just like being able to have a partner. I'm very grateful that we have been able to do this together, because not easy working with somebody, but we're very lucky.
Talk about that a lot.
Yeah, we do. We talk about that a lot. It is the two of us. That's what makes us different. Like, that's where the change is. Like, if you're looking from, a list of 1 through 10 boudoir photographers, and you meet us, you're going to realize, like, we just bounce really well off of each other, but also genuinely want to help you and be your friend. But as a entrepreneur, I mean, I know you know this too, like, even some of the people closest to you who should support you don't.
I was thinking about this recently. Like, when you run a business, especially in our age, like, what matters the most is the support. The people that you would think would be the closest, they're the ones that, just being honest, like, don't engage with your stuff. I notice the people that are in my life that don't really like my stuff, comment, support, even acknowledge certain things I'm doing, whether it's past, present, the future to come. Like, I've really noticed that, and it can feel really isolating when you're running a business, because I think what's hard is there's this misconception, and I'm going to explain that. When you run a business, and a lot of it's online, especially with my stuff, it's my face out there a lot. So it's a lot of me showing up all the time.
That's true.
People confuse who you really are with just what they're perceiving you online every single day. And obviously, if you post a lot, you're showing up a lot. You're a lot. So people, even if they know you, are now just judging you based off, like, you having to show up for your business all the time and thinking that everything in your life is super perfect, or they're just getting they're putting their own thoughts or perceptions or jealousy or envy, or like whatever they might have of you is now becoming you. I've had this with a lot of people in my life, where instead of seeing me for who I truly am, they're seeing me as what they're choosing to look at when I'm showing up on the internet all the time, every day. And it can feel really isolating when people, like, aren't understanding you. Like, we are a business and a brand. Like, social media is part of our job. We have to pour so much into the hours I put into creating content, into marketing, into outreach. And I mean, just this podcast, that takes time for me, doing all the market. Like, there's so much we have to do behind the scenes. Like, I know it's a lot of work for you guys as you do. It's just me. So I don't even have a back end. Like, there's not enough talked about when you, like, run a business and you're trying to be successful and you're trying to sell on things like we do, which we're not a necessity. We're a luxury for women.
That's something that I try to explain to a lot of people, is we are not a necessity.
We're not.
Being able to being able to put yourself out there enough that somebody's like, I will invest my time and money into this person because I trust them. I trust their product. I trust the end goal. Like, that means a lot. That's important. But when it comes to, like, the social media, I think it's also important, and we struggle with this. Like, we should be in front of the camera.
I tell you
more.
that.
I know, because people want to see who you are. They want to see the nitty gritty. They want to see the vulnerable. They want to see the silly.
But that's hard.
It is, and I understand that. But that's why, like, when we get, at least once you get them in the door, then it's different, because then they're like, oh my gosh, you want to go to a concert together? Like, we become friends. But what people don't understand about that is when they get to go home from their job and decompress and go to bed, we don't. Like, I'm going to sleep and I am thinking, what do I have to do tomorrow? Did I send that email? Okay. Do I have to plan that? I got to get that out. Okay. All these, it's never ending. I will be driving and thinking about work. I will be sleeping and thinking about work. I will be showering and thinking about work. Like, it never turns off. And that's what owning a business is. Like,
it's ingrained in every single part of your life, and it never really turns off. And it's rewarding as hell, but it's hard.
You are your own lifeline. Like, if I don't hustle, I don't live. Like, I don't have a paycheck. I don't.
Literally,
Yeah. Like, the reason so much of my personality is my job is A, because it's my passion, but B, because it needs to be. Like, how do you survive? How do you grow if you're not always hyper-focused?
I've had people say, like, all you talk about is work. I'm like, because I am work.
I am work. That's
it's true.
Life. It's part of who you are, and it's what putting out in the world, and that you're giving a piece of you.
Yeah.
It's not just a job. It's not just a business. It's you.
It's terrifying too, because you're putting yourself out there for criticism and judgment and all of those things, but it's worth it, because if I can we tell, when we go to our events or we do something in the area, if I meet 10 people and one of them remembers how I made them feel in that moment, then that's worth it.
Right.
That's what matters.
Yeah. I think a lot of people nowadays too want to start businesses. I think with like the rise of stuff like on social media, and like the word entrepreneurship is not minute anymore. It's very loud. It's very glorified. And I get the opportunity to talk to a lot of women on here that are entrepreneurs these days, men and women. It doesn't even matter. Anyone that's an entrepreneur, like this shit's hard. And it's like, I think it's cool now for us to be in the world of people that have done it for a while, around a sea of people that are just trying to get into it. I never will discourage someone from being an entrepreneur. I just wish more people understood like all that goes into it, especially because it encompasses a lot of social media too.
You're not going to just sign on and just make it.
Oh, I mean, I was making nothing when I started. So it's like, or just like building it up. Like, I mean, how has that looked for you guys? I mean, from just like saying, hey, we're going to do boudoir, to like being where you are now. I mean, how long has it taken to be into a space where you're like, okay, I feel like I'm actually more comfortable now? Like, how long has that taken?
I mean, we've been in business together doing photography for about 12 years.
Yeah.
And we used to
how long did we
Airbnbs?
And we had full-time jobs doing this on the weekends.
It wasn't until COVID happened that we were like, this is all or nothing. I'm not living this life anymore. Like,
oh, it was COVID. I actually didn't realize that.
Yeah, shortly after COVID, I think. Yeah. I was working a full-time position and ended up getting laid off because I was in the travel industry, and traveling was not happening.
Good point.
And so rather than go back to another 9-to-5 that I absolutely hated and I was miserable at, I decided to go full-time. And then shortly after, maybe like 6 months later, I think she joined on for full-time, and we never really looked back. Yeah.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I'll never go back.
It's terrifying, but I've never felt more myself or happier than owning my own business, working with my best friend.
It didn't happen overnight. We used to rent Airbnbs, and we'd have to, push bookings, like be like, okay, we have to have this many bookings to cover just the Airbnb, the drive time and all of that. And that was just the beginning. And we fell so deeply in love with it that it was, how do I find a space that I can make my own? And so, shortly after 2020, we found our first studio, blood, sweat, and tears in that place. And we began, and then you have a goal, you have an end goal, you have in mind what you want, what you're seeing, and where we're at now. Like our studio is our baby.
Yeah, it is.
It is our happy place.
But you didn't have that studio overnight. I think that's the most important thing.
It took years. And to be able to say, like, I mean, that rent is more than my house,
right?
But it's worth it. It's wonderful. It's I can create a space where I want people to come. I want to host. I want to have people know that this can be a place that you can be vulnerable. Like, it feels feminine. It feels empowering. It feels girly. It feels safe. And so I think that, and we're happy, but we're not always done. We're always adding. We're always thinking, what's next? What's bigger? What could we do? Where could we go from here? Just like you've always thought, like, what's my next step? And so when it is entrepreneurship, you're never just comfortable. You're always thinking, where can I grow?
Yeah. 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years ahead, you're always looking at.
I'll literally feel this anxiety when I feel like I'm plateaued. I've actually been going through this recently for the last few months, actually, where I feel like I've kind of been stalled, where I'm not working on the next thing and I feel like I'm kind of stagnant.
You also have to, for you, something I've talked to you about a lot is that's okay.
Yeah, it's hard for me. That's
aware.
No. Well, because with entrepreneurship, it's like you could be in a really good place and be kind of coasting and kind of like building there. But if I don't have that bigger thing I'm going towards, but I've also done the other thing where I've taken on too much at once and I've stressed myself out.
That is a constant circle of Stephanie.
Yeah. I mean, I've ended up in urgent care and ERs and shit because of that. But I talk about it. It's so funny. I don't think there's one episode where I don't bring it up, because I always bring it up. When I got shingles, I bring it up all the time, and I literally.
I know. I should probably go through my cell phone and
we remember the shingles.
Yes. Oh my god, yes, I know, because it's when I was doing one of the photo shoot events, which actually I real quick wanted to like go, because like I don't think people realize like that was something we did together too, but that was super fun, and like that's been something
we've had so many of those girls too reach out to us for future things because they've felt comfortable in that moment. Weddings. boudoir, other thing, because, and that's what's important is, let me show you, if you're scared, like at all, just say, hey, can we hop on the phone? Can we hop on a Zoom? Like once you get to know the situation and who we are, you're gonna be good.
It's interesting now. I actually forgot to bring that up, and before we close out, that is something I wanted to talk about, is the photo shoot events, because I'm thinking back on those. So obviously, you know, for those that don't know, obviously I was doing those from 2020 to 2024. My plan is to bring them back. We're going to talk about that later. But I took a break from them. But the reason I started doing them, I was like, okay, so these women are working towards something in the gym. They're working towards feeling more confident, more sexy, more powerful, just more badass in the gym, right?
Yes.
So they're working towards this event that I have them, I hate to say the word earn, but kind of earn, like something to work towards, where you get this photo shoot, right? So you get a private photo shoot, your makeup done. I worked with you guys, right, to facilitate that, because people just weren't doing it. They're like, well, I'm not going to, we already talked about this earlier, but I won't do a photo shoot unless I'm getting married, or maybe it's my birthday, whatever. I'm like, okay, you're on a fitness journey. And even if you're not where you think is the end goal, you're still going to do the shoot. I have to pull teeth to get people to sign up for that.
I know. Believe me.
There was some girls that like, yes, I want to do this. I've never had my makeup done. I've never done a photo shoot. There was other girls where it was like, maybe a few weeks out from the deadline, I'm like, you got to tell me, are you doing the shoot or not? And I had to like beg and have conversations.
It's because they're scared.
But then they did it, and they're like, this is the best thing I've ever done when they do it. And it was just for fun. Just, hey, we're going to do a photo shoot. You get like your own photo shoot. Like, you guys were a big part of that, making people feel so comfortable, between you, Tori, we love you, Tori, our videographer, you know, our makeup artist.
And how that all came about, we are a power, like the four of us are powered together.
I think that's what makes
we
the
work
difference.
and make them feel. It is. It's 100% that.
The people you are with in those moments to bring out that spirit out of you. And I think it's been cool. We've been able to pull people out of their shell. But like, when I say the word pool, I mean pool. You have to like grab women and be like, you know, when I first started doing those events, I was nervous because I'm like, are people going to want to do this? Because I love doing it. But I realize in those moments, I love being in front of the camera. Most people don't. Really? I love it. I'm like, that's how I'm like, let's go. But most people don't like that.
No,
they don't.
We have that same experience when it comes to boudoir.
You're scared.
It's really having to guide somebody along to give them the courage to do it, because most people don't want to. You have to really, you know, kind of coach them along and hold their hand.
Something I've always struggled with is having something to look forward to. Like if I don't have something to look forward to or a goal, I feel an emptiness. And so I want people to feel excited for those kinds of events and photo shoots, because you're about to see yourself, like how 99.9% of the time I'm running on steam. I'm running out of the house. I don't have eyeshadow on. I don't have, you know, my sunscreen is my best friend. Like that's about it. But to see yourself in those moments, like when do we do that? On our birthdays? On holidays, like maybe on the weekend, if you're going out with the girls, you get completely dolled up. Do it on a damn Monday night. I don't care. Just for yourself.
Right.
And then to capture that, you're not just capturing your makeup done and your hair done. You're capturing how you feel in that moment. And the reason that those events did so good wasn't just because it was one girl or two girl or three girls. It was because you're watching other women come into themselves in that same moment.
Right.
You're watching how they're getting photographed and feeling, and afterwards, and that energy from the beginning to the end, it always just goes bigger and bigger. And those people create friendships. And so I think it's so much deeper than a workout, so much deeper than a photo. Like it is so much more internal work that people just don't realize.
And as you said, so many people say, I've never done a professional photo shoot outside of
senior
married
pictures.
Or senior pictures, and that's pretty much it. And some people, that'll be the only times they ever take professional photos. But you're worth celebrating at all stages of your life. It's healthy, it's empowering, and you should take moments to hype yourself up, to empower yourself, to feel good, and like take the photo, because if you don't, you'll look back and you will regret it.
You will.
So if you guys, I guess there's so much more I could want to say, and we're gonna have to do a part 2 on this. But if you had to take everything we talked about today, wrap it up, put a bow on it, and leave these women feeling your last words, what would you want to tell them?
Go ahead. I knew that.
Spotlight's on. How are we ending this episode? Tell me.
Gosh.
It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be scary. And you just got to kind of embrace that fear, because the end product is worth it. And it's not the physical. It's so much more the mental. That's why, I mean, we're photographers because we grew up loving that. We found ourselves loving how that frozen moment made us feel. And so when it comes to boudoir or take the picture, take the damn picture. When it comes to that, you're going to remember in that moment how you felt. Yep. Even when you're struggling, even when it's a bad day, you'll go to the gym because you know how it makes you feel. Mm-hmm. And it makes you how you feel after. You feel
you deserve to feel good.
You feel empowered. Yeah. And so putting yourself first is okay.
No, I just think, again, like you do deserve to feel good in your body. You deserve to celebrate yourself. When we book boudoir sessions, we do a consultation call. And typically I do these and spend about half an hour on the phone talking to women and guiding them through the process, how it's going to work up to the session day of. And we talk about a lot of things. We get into a lot of different subjects, but many women talk about how they've never done a professional photo shoot before, how they can't justify spending this much money on themselves or taking the time away from their children or their job for this. And it's just, why don't we deserve that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure. We don't put ourselves first in our lives, and we should. As women, especially, I think that we constantly are putting others before us, whether it's our significant others, kids, jobs, education, all of those things. And suddenly we look back and where is all the time gone? Right. So take those times, those moments for yourself, embrace them, celebrate yourself, love yourself.
Right. How Stephanie had said, the showing the in-between, not just showing perfection. We have so many girls who will say, oh, I did this and I give like full rights to the images because I want other people to see my body type. I want them to see that you can love yourself. You can look like this and still be hot. You can feel sexy, be sexy in any stage of life, age. We've had 21 to late 60s, because you deserve it. Right. And so same with you, showing the behind the scenes is so important. Showing the nitty gritty. It's the path. It's not the end game. And it's so much deeper than just the end moment.
Amen. Well, if there's anything I got to say, it's book the boudoir session and book the training session.
Amen. Be our friends.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being on here. I know there's a lot that we could say, so maybe we'll see you in a part 2. But until then, we'll see you in the next episode.